Good morning and welcome to my channel, In All Seasons Homestead. I'm Joanna and today I'm going to share with you a winter's morning of inside and outside chores. Today I have butter, yogurt, and bread to make. We order our milk from a family down the road. It's raw milk, and tonight will be the day that they deliver their milk. So any milk that I have left, I use it to make yogurt and bread and different things. I also have the baby's goat bottle sitting there ready to go. I'm also starting a simple breakfast of eggs and ham that I'm going to put some queso fresco and jalapenos on top in a burrito for breakfast. And there are my milk jugs ready to be washed and eggshells ready to be crushed. And so I'm going to get a quick breakfast started for myself, and I think my oldest son had an egg burrito this day also. The other kids had some cinnamon rolls and some yogurt already, and I just have my milk sitting out. The larger pot holds almost a gallon of milk for my yogurt, and then the little pan has 4 cups of milk for my 3 loaves of bread that I'm going to make later. I'm also starting butter. The food processor is actually going right now. I think I did 3 rounds of butter. Just about less than a quart fits in my food processor at a time. So the food processor is very loud and annoying. So that goes quite a while during this time. But I like to make butter towards the end of the week when the cream is at its thickest. And here I'm just going to crush up these eggshells and stick in my little bucket that I also put banana peels and coffee grinds, and then I just take that out to the garden when it's full. I've already been out to the barn once this morning. It's been around 0 degrees and -5 degrees, and chores have been rough. We're constantly running outside and breaking water and making sure everybody has enough hay. And so after I checked on them once, I've already came back in and I'm just prepping all of our food for dinner, and like I said, for the milk. And I'm just going to wash up the dishes and get them ready and eat a quick breakfast before we head out again to do the bulk amount of chores. I usually start bread in the morning before we do chores. I get it all mixed up and knead, and that way it can have time to rise, and then we'll go do chores and then start school, and I'll come back and finish the bread. But since chores are taking so long outside, I'm not going to start my bread until lunchtime, so I'm just putting the milk at room temperature. That way I don't have to have as long time to heat it up. And here is my butter from the food processor, so I'm just going to separate the butter and the buttermilk, and I think I said I did this 3 times, and I'm trying to think, I never really pay attention or measure it, but it should have made me about 1.5 cups of butter. And we usually use the buttermilk to make biscuits or pancakes, but since today is milk day, a lot of times if I have extra buttermilk left over, then the dogs or the cats get to have a special treat. Especially with the temperatures being so low, I try to spoil them as much as possible with some extra calories. Actually, I wouldn't even say spoiling. I think it's just surviving. It's just been absolutely horribly cold. Thankfully, the wind hasn't been too bad yet. And here I'm just getting my simple, quick breakfast of eggs, ham, and queso fresco and a burrito. I really do eat eggs just about every day. I just feel better eating them. Otherwise, I'll have some toast with butter and honey, or some yogurt, homemade yogurt with homemade granola. I like to have pretty much everything prepared beforehand, so that way it makes the mornings a lot quicker and easier when I have so much to do. But you have to make eggs fresh every day, and they're just quick anyway to make. I'm really sorry for the sun shining so brightly behind my head. I did not even think about when I was recording. There's the cinnamon rolls. But I was enjoying the sun. It was absolutely beautiful. And here I'm taking my vitamins. I've been trying really hard to take my vitamins again. I just have been feeling down and tired, and most vitamins hurt my stomach really bad. And I heard that this brand is gentle on the stomach. So I've been taking them for about a week, and I actually do feel pretty good after taking them. I feel like I have a small time window to eat in the morning because I feel like I can't eat right when I get up. And then if I don't eat by a certain time, then I'm feeling really sick and nauseous. And so as soon as I have that little window, that's when I eat. And it kind of varies just a little bit each day, but I don't know why my body's like that. It's very irritating, but I'm really trying to take care of myself in the morning because as soon as I eat, I have a lot more energy the rest of the day. And then here I am just getting my kombucha ready for the second ferment. And those two smaller jars, the blue one and the brown one, I thrifted for $1 or $1.50. And the taller bottle is the new one that I was talking about in my thrift haul video. And I think I paid around $13 for that tall one. I still need 1 or 2 more bottles because I still have a leftover amount that I just put in a mason jar, but it doesn't get bubbly, and my son really likes the carbonation. I don't really care, so I just drink it out of the mason jar, but I would like to get a few more bottles so I can really fit 1 gallon and divide it up into them. So obviously I can't really include my entire morning in a 15-minute video, but I start every morning off with a cup of coffee, or actually 2 or 3, and then I take a shower no matter what I'm going to do. No matter what chores lay ahead of me, I take a shower first. No matter how cold it is or how dirty I'm going to get, I gotta take a shower. But one thing I did not do today is put makeup on for my YouTube audience. I normally do not wear makeup at home. I just want to be free of it. I do put makeup on no matter if I'm going to town. I always have makeup on, and I still try to wear as less as I can, but at home I just don't want to take the extra step. There's so much to do. So after I got the dishes washed and I will let them air dry until lunchtime, then I'm going to switch the laundry and put another load in, and then we will get all dressed in our hats, gloves, coveralls, and get as warm as possible before we head outside to the barn to check on the animals and to take care of them again. The older kids have their own separate chores also at this time. They get the trash gathered up and they take the trash out, and they have their rooms to clean up, and then they help me pick up the living spaces so I can vacuum. And now I'm already in the barn, obviously, and here's our bottle baby goat. And this little guy, he just likes to, you'll probably see here in a minute, he just jerks it and nips it, and he's sucking too. He just kind of goes at it differently than the other babies. But his mommy has a balloon udder, so he only has one side to drink off of, and so we just give him a bottle at least once a day just to make sure he has enough. She's had this issue in the past. It's been something to figure out, but she's doing well. And I did not record much of the chores because it was -5, it was cold, so we were just rushing. Oh, and there's the cat. He's got to get his morning milk in also. But we were just rushing and breaking the ice out of the buckets. We do have de-icers in some buckets, and we have electric buckets, but most of the animals have rubber buckets that we just have to dump over and kick them and break the ice. And if you don't get the eggs in time, they crack. We only had one this morning, so at least it wasn't too much. but we've had like 4 or 5. They're still laying. They just crack. They freeze and crack. And then that's our rubber bucket, and you can see all that ice. So back inside, it's a whole nother 5 or so minutes of a few more chores. We just get our coveralls hung up, our boots put away, and I will usually sweep the floor and just tidy up quickly. And I do this 2 or 3 times a day also, because every time we come inside, we are putting more wood in, and, hay gets stuck to your boots. And so I just try really hard to tidy it up 2 or 3 times. It's just the season that we're in. And here I'm just restocking the wood stove, and this is the 3rd time that I've restocked it this morning. We are really trying to keep the house at a nice temperature. And I think it was between 74. By dinner time, it got up to 78, and then we were quite toasty. So, but it took all day. I mean, with those low temperatures, you really got to keep the wood stove going. So I'm just going to quickly tidy up. And then I think I grabbed a hot cup of tea and then a cup of tea for my little one before we sat back down to start school. The older kids do school in their rooms. Maybe once in a while, or a certain subject, they will come out and join us at the table or upstairs in the kitchen table if I'm working on some food. But usually it's just me and the little guy. He was really excited about his lesson today. He's going through his books, just saying, wow, look at this, wow. And he was just really ready to go. So usually in the morning, we do anywhere from an hour and a half to 3 hours of school just in the morning. But being in the barn for so long, I can't remember, but I think we were just downstairs for a couple of hours. And also he has to have like little 5-minute breaks here and there. He's just full of energy. So I try to let him run outside as much as he wants in his little 5-minute breaks, but since it was so cold, we were just really trapped inside all day. And here I'm back upstairs after our school morning, and I'm prepping lunch and dinner and the bread. That small pot is the milk for the bread, so I'm going to warm it up and get that ready for my favorite sandwich bread. And the big pot is going to be the yogurt, so I will start that also, and I'm just going to kind of watch the milk heat up for the yogurt. It takes a while, so because I want to get it up to about 180 degrees, so for a while I don't have to stir it much. I just kind of let it heat up, and then when I'm done with the bread, then I can really keep the yogurt stirred from burning. My goodness, what a morning. I can barely keep up even talking during all the things. Just thinking about it isn't so hard, but talking, trying to keep up with like 10 different things going on at one time, that's quite a lot of work. So I'm going to let my bread rise during our afternoon school, and then that will be ready to bake when I start dinner. We usually have leftovers on a school day for lunch, but I did have a couple extra pork steaks, so I chopped them up quickly and fried them up just because I was waiting for the yogurt to heat up. And here I'm getting my meat grinder ready for dinner time, just trying to do as much as possible during this time. And I don't know if you saw my little boy's Hot Wheels setup a couple of minutes ago, but at lunchtime, that's what he likes to do on a cold day, is have some massive setup of farm animals or Hot Wheels. And this is how I will end the morning and be ready for the second part of the day. Thank you all so much for watching.